Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick video on the Holy Altar building quest. Now this is for those of you that might be looking at this particular quest and thinking to yourself, is it bugged? Is there a problem? Am I going to have to delete my save file? And all of those sort of bad things. The short answer is no, it's not. And the solution to the problem is really quite simple. But I thought that what I would do is sort of explain where the problem's coming from and then show you the solution. So, first of all, this is a part of the crop growing mission that you'll undertake when you're in Furrowfield. And this in particular is where you will get your pumpkin seeds from. So, the idea is that you go and meet this little ghost character that you'll see in this video shortly. And he will set you a task of rebuilding the Holy Altar as per a blueprint, and in return he will give you the pumpkin seeds. Now, some people, myself included, when we start out to get the first round of seeds, I think they were possibly the sugar cane, instead of just doing that and then returning back to the farm, what's actually happening is some of us are going off and doing a whole heap of other stuff in that same area. So getting tomato seeds and pumpkin seeds and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then when we get into this area here, which is an old church that you will find, basically what's happening is that people are basically destroying the place. And I'm one of those people. I pull it apart, got altars and statues and all sorts of crazy stuff to take back to my farm to decorate and do all sorts of weird things. I then stumble upon this little quest that I need to do in accordance with the blueprint, and then find that I sort of need to rebuild the entire altar. Now, as you can see in the footage in front of me here, I simply need to put in a floor. Now, I didn't do that because it feels like, for some reason in that blueprint, that it's not necessary. And then because I have previously demolished the area and done a whole heap of things out of sequence, instead of logically looking at the blueprint and realising I've made a build mistake, I think it's all sorts of other things and not really think about the build. Now, for everybody else who's having the same problem, guys, it's the build. All you simply need to do is make sure that you've got heaps of these stones that I'm acquiring now. You'll see the bit of a speed run. While I'm running through quickly taking these out, you will also see the sheer amount of these stones that I'd already removed from the church. So finishing this task was a little bit tricky because I'd used a lot of these bricks that I needed. So you take them along, and as you can see there, you simply create an entire floor. Okay, so the whole floor needs to be done for the Holy Altar to work. Once you have completed the floor in its entirety, so there should be no shiny white squares showing up. So you'll see those. Once they're all gone, you can now go ahead and build the altar as you previously would have on top. So placing the other blocks where you need to, and it shows you there very clearly on the blueprint. You've got an altar, candelabras, some candles, a book, and then obviously the goddess statue in the middle there. So you go ahead now and essentially put them down where they need to go, and where previously nothing was happening to forward the game, you will now find that with that floor fully built and the items put in place correctly, that you will be able to now go back to that ghost character and complete the mission. So that makes life really easy. I hope that helps everybody out. It is quite an easy thing, but like I said, there are a few of us who are going off and doing all these other things, and then when we come across that problem, our first thoughts are that we've actually made the mistake and created problems and created a bug within the game, when in actual fact we haven't. It's just that we're missing that first floor. So for those of you that are having problems, that's the answer to your drama. Put the floor in and then build everything else on top, and you'll see straight away now that as you add those items in, so here when we put down there you go, so that glowing light that surrounds it is basically telling you that it's now in the right position, and most importantly, because the floor's in, it's at the right height. So you'll see here, now that that's done, the whole area closed, and we'll run around behind us and we'll be able to have the conversation with our friend. We'll finalise the mission. Then we will have to do a small battle, and then we can close out the mission by talking to him back at the altar. So I will disappear now and just let you watch the rest of the gameplay. It'll run for another 4 or so minutes, just the battle, and then finalising, getting through the floor down into the little cabin where the seeds are kept. So enjoy, and thank you very much for watching.
Hut!